Welcome to long-term reviews number whatever the fuck we're on. And this is the long-term reviews from the group of long-term reviews cars that's normally smaller. So like, how do I put this? The even-numbered odd, no. One of the numbers of, I can't describe it. Anyway, hello to the season 11 cars. Here is, what I've been doing to them. So first of all, the Stratos. Now, you may remember I didn't particularly like this car in my original review. So what I've done is I've all-wheel drive swapped it and I've lowered it. And, it's alright. I guess. It's not much feel, it's more like... I'm not driving and feeling the road through my fingertips. It's more just I turn and it goes at an angle. Not like I'm actually having some control. It's a shame. Foxy, why did you have to muck up one of my favourite cars? Oops. That's not gone well. The Audi Dakar. Now, when I first got this car, that's before I reviewed it, I was grinding season trophies. So I was doing the season race. And what I decided to do was lift it up and put a bit of wider offset on it. 50mm up and 50mm across for alignment and suspension and shit. However, what I discovered was it just ruined the car. I think what's best is that you keep it on standard suspension. Otherwise it sort of ends up all bouncy and mildly lethal. Which is not what you want from this Audi. Oh, yep. You see, I hit a bump and it just spun off. Don't put alignment on your Audi. The trophy truck. Now, when I did the lap time on this, I discovered that this thing handled terribly. And I think someone has told Foxy that it handles terribly. And, now they've made it handle better. The suspension is still too bouncy, which I don't like. But, why are there people at my dealer? But that's something for another long-term reviews. The Fiesta rally car. Now, what I've done is I've converted it into a road-going Fiesta by lowering the suspension and, putting it into front-wheel drive. And what I'm now going to try and do is drift it. Here we go. Hold on. That was a mistake. Right, handbrake it in. There we go. See? Basically a Fiesta. Just, got a body kit on. That wasn't what I meant to press. The thing with front-wheel drive cars is you've got to lift off oversteer them to get them to drift. Like this. But, you can bring them to heel. And they can be quite fun, so... Nice one, Fiesta. The Toyota Yaris rally car, the one I thought was a Corolla, but wasn't. I've tuned it, and now it's very, very quick. Obviously, I road tested it stock, but now it's tuned, and actually it's really quick. And I'm not talking about just, a bit nippy. This is a very seriously fast car. Just all round. Look at the way it climbs through the numbers. All the way up to 225 miles an hour. Very quick. Oh, and I've fixed the suspension problem, so now it's not an eyesore. The back was far too high, and the wheels didn't look like they fitted the wheel arches. Now I've lowered it and painted what's around the wheel arches black, mainly. So now it looks much better aesthetically. Which was good, because it was before pissing me off quite a bit. The Chiron Dakar. What I've done is I've, basically put on the same tune as I put on the Audi. Just for memes. And what I've discovered is this thing should be sliding. A lot. Should be really difficult to control. But it's actually insanely grippy. Like, really, really grippy. Far grippier than I was expecting. and it's very easy to drive, and it's very quick. I think we may have a new rally meta. I'll keep experimenting with it and keep you updated. With next long-term reviews, well, long-term reviews in 2 weeks' time. The Ford Mach-E 1400, I've been experimenting with different drift alignments with this. What I've mainly discovered is, don't put offset on it. That just sort of makes it undrivable. Height off is good, and what I've best discovered is, it's really good with rear-wheel drive. This is rear-wheel drive right now, and as you can see, I can really send it through the corners. Like, look at this. Handbrake it in. Oh, did not counter steer right. But it is still, and this is the good part, drivable. So, what I have discovered is, to make the most out of your Mach-E, it's rear-wheel drive and 40mm off both ends with height and extra low springs. This is what I've found works best for me. Even if I am a bad driver. The Mazda RX-7 Falcon. What I've been trying to do is discover the drifting technique for this car. See, a lot of different drift cars require different driving styles to get the most out of them. Like, the Unicorn, the way to drift it best is handbrake early and turn in. The S15's best to handbrake it in the middle of the corner to get the back end out properly. RTR, you want to, like, sort of spam press handbrake in the middle of the corner just to keep it in line. With this, what I am most discovering is, well, I tried handbraking it early, and that sort of worked well-ish, but it was still fishtailing a little bit and the back wasn't coming out. So then I tried handbraking it really early, but that just made it flick back into line and not work properly. So, as of right now, I think the best way is handbrake it in early, and then don't counter steer too early. Because otherwise, that's just going to make it fishtail like I've just demonstrated. And my demonstration was absolutely on purpose. 100%. Right, let me try and actually do this for real. That was too slow. Yeah, no, this drifting technique is difficult. Maybe I need it rear-wheel drive. I don't know, I just think there's just a big problem with fishtailing, and then every so often the back doesn't come out properly. This is a difficult car. The Lamborghini Gallardo drift car has just made me feel quite sad, because I tried to type in to find it, Velatoro, and then realised they weren't there. I haven't done that in so long. Quite depressing, actually. Anyway, I've also been trying to find out how to drift this best. Not as much as the RX-7, because I was focusing mainly on the RX-7. I thought this would be much easier. It wasn't. Because there is also the problem of, don't put the power down the moment you come out the corner, otherwise it tends to sort of fishtail. There we go. I think it's best to actually coast out of the corner before you get into a straight line. Then, when you get into the straight line, floor it. And then here comes the power. And there is a lot of that power. If you watched Long-Term Review's Drag Racing Special, you will know that this thing is basically as quick as an RTR. Only the RTR is 4.5 million. This is free. Still having problems with drifting it though. Right. Handbrake it in. Coast out of the corner. And then put the power down. Handbrake it in. Counter steer. There. Lift. Lift to get the tail back in line. Then full throttle. That's the best way to drift this thing. See, I told you it'd be much easier to drive than the RX-7. And finally, to finish things off, we have the eternal Lamborghini Veneno that's always here. Been trying to drift this properly. sort of failing miserably. I've put spiked tyres on it and all-wheel drive. So far, this is about the best I can get without it being lethal. All-wheel drive and spiked tyres. You can get it to drift properly, but it is quite difficult because the car is heavy and also quite grippy. I miss my old Veneno. So, with that, thank you for watching. Lamborghini Sesto Elemento review coming out later today. Meanwhile, I'm just going to have some fun time in my 911 Turbo. And on that bombshell, thank you all for watching. As I've just mentioned, stay tuned for the Sesto Elemento review. And I've just realised that means we're going to be adding another Gallardo into long-term reviews like these of this group. Let's call this group Set B and then the other long-term reviews group Set A. Should save some confusion.